Hey Captains, it's Ryan from the Alberta Cancer Foundation. I'm just out here on a ride at the top of Cloverdale Hill. You can see the beautiful Edmonton City skyline and the Mutart Conservatory behind me. What's going to follow this is a quick video that we took of our Captain's Happy Hour on Wednesday, July 15th. Sorry we missed you, but we've recorded it so you can watch it. So what that video will entail is I will talk about some of the great work that the Alberta Cancer Foundation is doing. There will be a short message from our longtime title partner, Enbridge, and then Crystal and Melissa will walk you through exactly what a virtual event is and what you can do as one of our amazing captains. Thanks and enjoy. So as we all unfortunately know too well, cancer does not quit during a pandemic, and Albertans facing cancer need our help more than ever. We've spoken to numerous patients who've been undergoing treatment over the last few months, and Leah has just kind of filled us in on her experience over the last 8 or so months. I also often think about a patient who you'll actually see on TV next week in our ads for the Cash and Cars lottery. He never smoked a day in his life and was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. He's healthy and responded really well to clinical trials, but he's still immunocompromised and has an underlying lung condition now. So we're fundraising for patients like him and Leah, who you see here on the slide, giving her very powerful speech at Camp Show last year. So what are some of the things that the ACF is working on right now? A couple years ago, we launched the Albertans Helping Albertans Fund, which is a very flexible program that we use to fund programs that are facing the greatest need. And recently, two of the programs that we've invested in are a COVID biorepository and the Text for Hope campaign. So the biorepository will allow for the long-term preservation of positive COVID-19 samples in the province and will give our researchers local access to the biological materials they need to study the virus. We've seen the positive effects of these biorepositories before, such as the Alberta Cancer Research Biorepository and Tumor Bank, which we funded, and we're really proud to be involved with this new initiative. Another one related to the pandemic is the Text for Hope campaign, which is something we partnered with several other charities for. And it allows Albertans to sign up through their mobile device and receive daily mental health messages related to the pandemic via text message. And there are also two offshoots to this program, one which specializes in addiction and the other in cancer issues. So it's been a very successful program so far. Then of course, there's also our patient financial assistance program, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. Need for this program is growing by 10% each year, up to 1.2 million last year. And we expect even greater demand this year due to the economic impacts of COVID. This money's there so Albertans facing cancer can focus on healing, not worrying about their bills. So your support helps them pay for things like rent or their mortgage, groceries, medicine not covered under insurance, or travel to another cancer center. And then finally, I want to talk about the Patient Navigator program. I mean, a cancer diagnosis can be overwhelming at the best of times, along with navigating the healthcare system and the cancer system. With COVID, it's becoming even more difficult. Treatment plans are changing, surgeries have been rescheduled or canceled. So our navigators, who are trained, dedicated nurses, are there to support patients every step of the way. And I know things are challenging right now for everybody, so I just wanted to say a really heartfelt thank you for your dedication on behalf of both myself and everyone at ACF. I didn't think I could be more inspired by the ride community than I have the last few years, and you all just continue to be so incredible. So thank you. And I'd like to introduce Allison Morley from Enbridge, who is going to share a message on behalf of our longtime title partner.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Allison Morley. I'm one of the team captains in the Alberta Enbridge team. I've been involved with the ride now for 8 years. And on the committee. So I just want to say on behalf of Enbridge, we're very proud to be part of the Ride to Conquer Cancer. And I want to thank all the other team captains and their teams for all their support for this great cause. At Enbridge, we still have a very active committee and we're doing our best to keep our team engaged this year, even though the ride is not going to proceed as planned. And at Enbridge, safety is our #1 priority. So with that in mind, we're finding all sorts of ways to reach out virtually to our team and more Enbridge employees, using cycling tools, like Zwift to hold our group rides, and using Strava to share route ideas, and sometimes Zoom so we can talk to each other while we're riding our bikes in our basements and whatnot. So we're constantly brainstorming to try to keep up the momentum that we've worked so hard to build up over these last few years. And we're really looking forward to the event on August 29th, and we remain committed and are keen to help ACF in any way we can through these challenging times. So look forward to seeing all of you probably on the 29th. So thanks for having us.
Cancer Senior Manager for the West. And I'll be taking you through the next few slides on what are we doing? Why are we here on this call? So I want to just talk a little bit about what is a virtual ride. There's been a little bit of confusion on what does that even mean? Does that mean I have to go out and buy a trainer? I need to be on my bike in the basement with everyone else on a Strava or a Zoom or some sort of technology? And the short answer is no. You can ride any way you want. You can be indoor, you can be outdoor. If you're unable to ride, you can hike, you can walk. Some people have said dance, but I've seen some of you dance, so I'm not sure that that's an option, but you can make it. Tom, why are you shaking your head? You can make it whatever you like. And we're gonna have a kickoff, and then we're gonna have an event on the 29th of August. But really, we're leaving it open that you'll be able to do a lot of different options. So the ride your way is what I was referring to, as far as you can walk, you can ride, you can hike, you can do our 200-kilometer route we were going to do. And all we ask is that during those times when you're doing those things, you're outdoors, you're representing the ride, you're walking, you're hiking, you're doing whatever, that you're tagging us in your social media. The We Still Ride hashtag is going to be our mantra for the summer, because we still ride even during these COVID times. We're still going to get out there, we're still going to ride, we're still going to champion the cause for the Alberta Cancer Foundation. So what we've come up with is on our Strava group, which I'll talk about a little bit later, we're going to have posted routes throughout the province. So if you live in a certain area and you say, for example, Banff, and you have this great route idea, you can share it on Strava to our group, and we can share it with everybody. So if everybody wants to come out, not everybody at the same time, but if people want to try over the summer the Banff to Jasper route that Silas will send us, then you can do that. And if you live in Fort Mac, you can send us your route as well. Or if you were in Lethbridge or Tabor, Leah, to post a bunch of different routes throughout the province. So the good part about this is no matter where you live, you're going to be able to participate and be a part of it. We're going to post, like I said, this year's route. As well, we've come up with an idea to post our old route. So some of you have been around for a while. You know we've rode from COP to Okotoks to Chain Lakes, from Spruce Meadows to Okotoks, and different places, and Sundre last year. So if you didn't get to ride that route, and we're just going to post them all. So you'll have an opportunity to try as many of those as you like over the summer as well. On the 29th, we're going to have a virtual rally. So what that means is we're going to have a get together where we kind of do a mini version of what we would do. Typically, we're going to hear from the Alberta Cancer Foundation. We're going to hear from a survivor. We're going to have a small little safety talk about social distancing and being safe on the road. And then we're going to put people out on the road for the day and in different places, in different areas, doing different things. And we know how creative you guys are, so we really want you to think outside the box and come up with some sort of an activity that you think would be great for you to share. We're going to also have a wrap-up celebration video. We're going to share your images, obviously, on our social media. We're going to share it with all the other riders so they know that you're riding in unison. Even though we're not together, we're still going to be together. And then we're also going to have there'll be a thank you video that you can watch at your leisure, which fits into your schedule that day, depending on how short or how long your ride is. You'll be able to watch that afterward as well, a thank you video. All right, and then benefits of a virtual ride. I have to admit, when this all became virtual, I didn't think there would be too many benefits. I was pretty like, what do you mean? But there is some really great options after being stuck in our houses for months with our families. It's been wonderful. But we're going to get an opportunity to continue raising funds for a much needed cause. As we talked about, there's been a lot of people that have, not only had to go through COVID like we have, not only work from home or lose their jobs, but in the meantime, they're getting surgery and they're getting radiation and they're getting chemotherapy and they're continuing their cancer journey also on top of this on top of this other journey that we have all been going through. So we want to keep the ride spirit alive. I mean, we're hoping to be back in 2021 all together on an event. And in the meantime, we want to keep our rider spirit alive. We know how amazing you all are, how much you love the ride, how much you love doing rides. And we really want to just keep our ride spirit alive during that time. It's also going to give you a really great opportunity to reconnect with your team. I don't know about you guys, but I've missed all your faces, and I'm sure you've had been missing your people as well. So if you're not Zooming with them and they're not from work, chances are you probably haven't seen them or connected with them. So it's just a great opportunity to reconnect with your ride team as well. Again, what you'll hear a couple times tonight is the ride your way. You know, maybe it's not a 200-kilometer ride. Maybe it's a 25-kilometer ride. Maybe it's a 100-kilometer ride. It can look however you want it to look. And we don't want to limit you. Fundraise your way. I think in Alberta, we've become really good experts at the soft ask. We've been through some tough times in the last few years, whether it's with the economy or different things that have happened. And, you know, we've still managed to come out on top, and this is going to be no different. So, you know, fundraise your waste. I know I have some people who are shaving off their COVID beards and getting their hair cut for a fundraising event. You know, there's a couple like Scott and Tom that won't work for, but you know, there's lots of different ways. Be creative, find the ways that'll work for you. We've removed the barriers. So, you know, there's no age limit to be a virtual rider. There's no distance, and there's no fundraising minimum that that is required. This is the one and only time that there's going to be such a broad net for the Ride to Conquer Cancer. We've never done this before, where we have no age limit and we have no fundraising minimum. It's inclusive of family, crew, and volunteers. Sorry, I just have some people in the waiting room. It's also very inclusive of the family, crew, and volunteers. You know, in the past, some of those people were participants and then for health reasons couldn't participate anymore. Or there are super volunteers that, you know, come out every year to help us, and maybe they can come up with an event their way. You know, I know some of you, your friends and family, you've bothered them for years to participate with you on the ride, but 200 kilometers was too daunting, or 2,500 was too daunting as well. So this is a real opportunity to get them on board. They can fundraise their way, they can ride their way. So it's a really great opportunity. So multiple routes throughout the province, we talked a little bit about this, but we're going to be able to not only add routes where we know we already have them, but again, we'll ask those captains in different areas to share their favorite route, share your favorite ride. And we can get those up on our Strava account, and you can, you know, ride throughout the province, you know, Cold Lake to Lethbridge to Medicine Hat to wherever. So, and I know we have some Saskatchewan people here too. So again, they can also do it. Ride when it's convenient. You know, some of us are still working during the daytime. Maybe it's an evening ride or a weekend ride, or some of you work weekends or evenings. It's convenient. You can decide when you want to do that. It's also a good corporate team building engagement. You know, we can still social distance. A lot of us have satellite offices in different locations, and we can really come together and ride together. No matter where we live in the province or the country, you can really include all of those different satellite offices to be together for this event. So it's a great way to just get our team and our corporate company just reinvigorated on an event together, apart but together. And we're cause focused. You know, like I said earlier, we have a lot of people like Leah that are going through treatment right now, and we want to support them, and we want to support the Alberta Cancer Foundation. Cancer didn't stop during COVID, so we want to just really continue that fundraising and continue the support of them and getting their name out there and getting awareness out of there. And you know, you can do whatever you like, and most of you already have really nice bikes, so it's not going to cost anything to do this event. You can just get out there and get it done and post on social media and tag us in it, and we can be a part of your journey as well. So lots of benefits to our virtual event. And then I'm going to hand it over to Melissa McKenzie. She's the Manager of Corporate Giving at the Alberta Cancer Foundation, and she's just going to speak a little bit about Ride Your Way, Fundraise Your Way.
All right. I had to unmute there. I've got double screens working. I just want to echo Crystal and Ryan's sentiments and say how excited we are to see so many of you here today and start talking about the ride again and get everyone involved again in a slightly different format this year. You know, Crystal's spoken briefly about a couple of things on this slide, but I just really wanted to highlight how this unique COVID situation may actually result in one of the most memorable years of the rides yet, and how we can all come together to really look back, hopefully fondly, at this unique year. And for those who have been a part of the ride for many years, you know we've had a lot thrown at us. There's been a lot of crazy weather, economic downturns, floods, smoke, you name it. We've been through a lot. Why not add a global pandemic to the list, right? But again, like Crystal mentioned, there's lots of silver linings about this situation. And with the virtual ride, there's literally no barriers and very low costs. So we can make sure that whatever we are able to do makes an immediate impact for people facing cancer in Alberta. And, you know, Ryan did a great job of highlighting that cancer doesn't stop, or a pandemic. There's still 53 Albertans who are diagnosed every day. And, you know, if anything, there's added challenges that come along with this COVID-19 situation. So the need is greater now than ever. So with that, we know the original ride date is coming up next weekend, July 25th, and through conversations that we've had with many of you, team captains, sponsors, riders, there's been some unofficial plans in the works through a lot of teams still. So we're just encouraging that creativity and engagement. And we're hoping you're going to utilize our social channels, any social channels you want, and the hashtags like Crystal mentioned, We Still Ride, Alberta Ride, so that we can really create some buzz and excitement and use this weekend as an unofficial kickoff. So whatever that looks like for you, thank you. Do something, do anything, do what you can. Ride, share your stories, start your fundraising efforts, make a self-donation, set a challenge goal, whether it be kilometers or fundraising, map out your route, engage with your team, as long as you're being safe about it, following guidelines from the Alberta Health Services, and just spread the word. Encourage anyone that you know to be a part of it this year. I know Crystal talked a little bit about fundraising and that we know it's a challenging time for everyone and that many of you and many of your donors are in a different financial situation than they were at the beginning of the year. And we understand that fundraising in post-COVID, I mean, we understand at the foundation, it's different, it's challenging. But the great news is we are so fortunate to live in Alberta. The amount of community support and generosity in this province is astounding. And we've seen firsthand at the foundation that people are still wanting to give. They're still wanting to support in whatever way they can. So this virtual ride gives them the opportunity to do that, however it makes sense. And with that, we will have some exciting initiatives, announcements, prizing, incentives that we will be announcing throughout the next month or so to help encourage you and push you along. And of course, our ride guides, Crystal and Allie, and myself and Ryan and our team at the foundation are here to support you and offer whatever guidance and additional information we can. Many of you are part of corporate teams or past or current ride partners. And if you have ideas on how we can work together with your company to grow your teams or utilize corporate donations, matching funds, sponsored dollars, or in-kind support to help incentivize our riders or promote the event or increase engagement, especially in other regions across the province, let's talk. I'm Corporate Giving Manager. I'd love to be creative with you to figure out how we can really maximize our impact this year. And I just want to take a few moments to shout out some of our sponsors, Enbridge, obviously, who's continuing on as title partner this year. RBC honored their full commitment of sponsorship as a donation this year, which is amazing. And several, I mean, all of our additional ride partners have remained committed leading into 2021. So we're really fortunate for the incredible corporate support that we have for this event. So lastly, let's get creative. Like Crystal said, you might not, be a cyclist, or all of you are cyclists, but you might have people in your network who aren't cyclists that want to support in a different way, and let's encourage them to do that. Let's be creative. You don't have to complete 200 kilometers or raise $2,500, but the sky's the limit. You can really set whatever goals you want. And use your passion, whatever it is, to inspire those around you. So that's it for me. Just again, want to say thank you very much to all of the team captains and all of the partners and supporters, and we look forward to seeing what this year brings.
Great, thanks, Melissa. Ryan's going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to talk a little bit, I saw that face, Ryan, about Strava. As most of you know, I just sent you guys over a poll actually that you can take to let us know if you're currently already on Strava. For those of you who don't know, it's free to use. It's very user friendly. This is the first time that we've had a Alberta Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer Club. You'll see at the top of my screen there in the blue. We really want you to join, and we really want you to get your teams to join. We'd like to get at least 200 members, but I think we can do a lot better than that. You know, and that's where we're going to highlight those routes from across the province. We're going to highlight maybe, you know, Scott Patrick or Tom Hewitt, or someone will send us their favorite route in Calgary, and then, you know, maybe Brian from the Cross Cancer will send me his favorite Edmonton route. And like I said, Silas, I'm expecting big things out of you for Banff. And Darren up there in Vermilion, maybe you could send us a route as well. So there's going to be lots of different routes and lots of different places, and we'll add, like I said, some of our own as well. So there's going to be weekly, monthly challenges and those unique routes. So also on Strava, there's some training and nutrition tips. And if you're, you know, a new captain and this is all new to you, don't worry, we'll help you out with that, okay? So please join the Alberta Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer on Strava, and please have your teams join it as well. I just want to remind everybody that, you know, to ride safe during COVID. Our sport, fortunately, is kind of made for social distancing, in that, you know, there's not a lot of hugging and touching and sharing of, you know, handlebars and different things. So it's kind of made to social distance, but we really want to encourage you to be safe. Stay the distance. We also want you to go to the alberta.ca coronavirus info website and just make sure you're following those guidelines and that you're staying safe. The last thing we want is for any of you guys to get sick or to have any issues. So please make sure you're out there and you're following those guidelines and staying safe when you're riding or walking or hiking or dancing or whatever it is. Oh, sorry. I'm going the wrong way. So what is my call to action for all you super captains? Like, I just appreciate you all for being here today, and it's just a wonderful chance that we have to be together again and to do something together. So my calls to action to you guys and how you can help is, first of all, to rally your team to participate. You know, email them if you have a Facebook group or an Instagram group or whatever that looks like. You know, just please get them excited. Help us get them excited. You know, expand your team. There's no barriers. I've signed up, you know, both my kids and my husband, and they didn't find out till they got the email, but I want them to fundraise too. So then we had to have a talk about it. So please make sure that you're, you know, finding those people who want to do an event with you in your family pod. So, you know, we have our core cohorts that we can spend time with and do stuff together. So engage them and get them involved in the ride. This is a one-time opportunity that we have here to really share the ride with everybody in our life, that, you know, from work to home to wherever. We'd also really like, I know you guys know your teams better than Allie and I do, maybe. And we really want you guys to share with your 5 and 10-year riders that if they raise $1,000 this year, they're still going to get their helmet, and we'll make available some sort of a drop-off pickup. Scott, I know you're happy about that. I'll make sure you get it. So, you know, just make sure that those 5 and 10-year riders know that if they raise $1,000 starting July 10th, then they can get their helmet, and we'll get it to them for sure. And then update your personal page. I tell you guys this every year, you know, I harp on it. I'm always mentioning it, but update your personal page and get your first donation before you send your page out. And really, just if you're signing up people that are your cohorts at home or at work or wherever, you know, teaching them how to do that as well. The tips to success. You guys are all very successful at fundraising, and you know what you're doing. So just helping those people that you refer, that you sign up to do that as well. maximizing your company match programs. You know, those programs are still running. As far as I've heard from most companies, they're still running. So they're still going to match those donations. And like Melissa said, we're going to have a couple of things, contests and different things running later on as well that are going to help with that. And we just really want you to maximize those company match dollars. Again, the encouraging your crew and your volunteers to participate however they want. We already have a walk team that's doing a walk in Calgary, and that's great. It's wonderful. If they don't want to bike 200 kilometers, they can walk and share it on our social. So also suggesting an individual goal of 500 or 1,000 for the virtual ride. You know, if you select a goal and then you encourage people to select a goal, we know we'll be more successful. And then set a team goal. You know, set a team goal for say you want to raise, you know, we want to raise $5,000, we want to raise $10,000. We want to ride all the old routes that get posted this summer. Whatever your challenge is to your team, whatever you feel is the best that you think would motivate them, we just really encourage you to challenge your team. Come up with something creative on how you're going to challenge them. And then encourage them, obviously, to join that Strava club that I mentioned earlier. We really want to get that club up and going and get lots of great feedback and stuff on there. So again, it's free to join and it's very user friendly.